and of different groups myself. I much prefer the original Yes, for instance. The very, very first Yes, I used to go down and see them at the Marquee, and I thought, you know, I didn't want them to get bigger than that because I wanted to see them every week, you know. And as groups get more and more popular, I guess you know, there's a little bit of resentment comes from the original fans.
And yet, quite consciously, you've incorporated new elements into the band. The horn sections, for example, on you know, the Abacab album and so on. You're willing to take that risk.
Well, that was just the song that we had written, or two songs, Paper Late and No Reply. We just sort of felt like that they could use a horn section. We just thought, well, why not use the real thing rather than try and simulate it?
It's no more significant to us than sort of like using maybe a kind of banjo sound on one song or something. It was just, you know, we can't play horns, so we got someone else in to do it.
Well,
it was just a new thing for us to do, yes. So that's what I mean.
While we're speaking of sold-out concerts, of course, earlier in the show we mentioned, we ran down the entire list of dates that have been scheduled for Genesis' current tour of the United States, which just started this past week in Illinois. If you keep tuned to the station you're listening to now, I'm sure over the weeks to come, you'll find out of the future of Genesis' tour and find out when they'll be coming to your town. A last question from Dan Carlisle of WNEW.
Sure, I want to ask for some of your fans in New York. The lad in New Jersey wants to know, Mike Rutherford, what are you playing? What instrument are you playing on? It's going to get better.
I play, on a good night, I play a Stratocaster. Nice blue one with 6 strings.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You play the
a
Roland.
bass synthesizer, don't you?
Bass synthesizer. It's going to get better.
Which song?
It's going to get better.
Right.
Remember that one?
Wrong.
A two-part trick question. Yes, I play...
That's why it sounds weird. You're not playing.
I play a bass synthesizer. It's an old-fashioned Roland one, which is... It's very rough, actually. Keeps missing notes, but the sound is, as they know. But the sound is very good. I play that on... It's going to get better.
Thank you.
A serious question, or a semi-serious question in this context. It's become very fashionable for groups to embark on farewell tours. Do you foresee anything that might bring the days...
Doesn't it tell you?
That's why this is a radio press conference. I make momentous announcements. Do you foresee anything like that? Do you see... Has the friction finally gotten to be too much for you?
Yeah, I'm fed up with these guys. I've had enough of this.
No, I don't think we'll. I think we'll just, when we decide to say, you know, sort of no more, we won't be able to do a farewell tour. I mean, we just decide to sort of stop, and that'll be the end of it. You know, there's no question of, hey, I think I'm not going to like you guys in a year's time, so let's do a farewell tour now. Just to, you know, I think that'll be the end of it. We'll just sort of pull the plug out and pack our instruments away and say thank you.
Right. So I think that we tend to do it year by year, actually. I mean, I think people always say, you know, I'm so glad you guys are still together, because they feel that. And, you know, are you going to keep going? And I think with us, it's each year we sit down to make a new album. We kind of reappraise if it's still got something that we, you know, that excites us.
I think the best thing is for everybody to go out and buy the tickets for this tour, because it might be the last.
You never know.
You're going fast.
Do you have any plans that will... how are you going to follow this tour, individually or collectively, or is it too far ahead of time?
We're going to follow this tour with another tour in February.
I'd like to see you in a Monty Python movie, I think.
I'd like to. I think. Well, there's not time to talk about it, but I would like to get into some acting stuff.
Yeah.
If it's the right thing. But it's always the wrong thing. It's the trouble. I want to get the girl.
Solo projects, Tony, Mike?
Yes, I'll probably do something next year. And
Well,
also...
we're certainly doing something. Quite what yet? I'm probably signing on the Dole, I think. Does that mean anything over here? I don't. Yeah, we'll be doing something.
Yeah, and writing for other people, which is an area which... now the Genesis do less writing, you know, we do it all together. There's a lot more chance to actually get songs done by other people, which is my new... And as the clock approaches 4 o'clock and they're all looking at me...
Well, it is time for us to give our acknowledgments and thank yous to everyone who participated and made this Genesis Radio press conference possible. To Tony Smith, of course, to Cheryl Gordon, to Perry Cooper, Danny Bush, Rick Sudikoff from Atlantic Records. This has been a DIR production, executive producer Bob Meyerowitz and Peter Kauf, produced by Paul Zullo, station coordination Roxy Mizell, engineering in New York, Tim Mulligan. Special thanks to Ms. Lou as well here at WXRT. It could not have been possible without John Freeberg, Chris Marsh, Jocelyn Clark. A thank you to Phil Collins, to Daryl Sturmer, as I look across the table, to Tony Banks, to Mike Rutherford, to Chester Thompson, and to our radio panelists, Tom Hedges from KLOS Los Angeles, to Katie Kiley from WKLS Atlanta, lost my breath, Katie, and to Dan Carlisle, From WNEW-FM in New York, I'm Norm Weiner, WXRT in Chicago. Thanks again for listening, everyone. From Chicago, good afternoon. Bye-bye.
Sound quality from that master reel is stunning. In this studio, it's like sitting in their studio. It's that lifelike. Fantastic. So this is the second reel, part 2 of the Genesis press conference, November the 12th, 1983.